ready for a deep dive.
Always. What have we got today?
Today we're diving into a world where, well, Wall Street meets Texas wine country.
Uh-oh, that's going to be a culture clash for
Yeah,
sure.
you say that again. We're talking about Corked, a screenplay by D. Nikki Wheeler.
I've heard of this one. Haven't had a chance to read it yet, though.
Oh, it pulls you in right away.
Yeah.
So it follows this woman, Catherine Rogers. She's like the definition of a high-powered investment banker. But then her life takes this sharp turn.
Let me guess. She loses all her money and has to move in with her estranged sibling who just happens to own a struggling winery.
Not quite, but there is a struggling winery involved. The story starts off, though, by really immersing us in Catherine's world. Think, those sleek offices in L.A., late nights at those exclusive clubs. You know the vibe.
Cutthroat deals, probably fueled by endless cups of coffee.
More like Red Bull. But yeah, Wheeler really captures that whole high-stakes, fast-paced atmosphere.
So how does she end up in wine country, then? That's quite a leap from boardrooms to vineyards.
It's a tragedy, actually. Catherine gets news that both her parents have died. Car accident.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's the catalyst.
Yeah, it rocks her world. And as if that wasn't enough, she also inherits the family's, well, it was a winery in Driftwood, Texas, called Round Rock.
Driftwood, Texas. That name kind of says it all, doesn't it? I'm picturing something charming, but definitely a bit, sleepy.
You're not wrong. Wheeler paints this really vivid picture of Round Rock, and it's a far cry from anything Catherine is used to. We're talking of overgrown vines, buildings that are practically falling apart.
Oh, no. This poor woman.
And to top it off, there's even a rooster named Red, who basically runs the place.
Okay, a rooster named Red. I'm already sensing some symbolism there.
Right. It's like this quirky embodiment of that slower, less predictable life that Catherine's suddenly facing.
So how does she handle it? Someone who's used to spreadsheets and closing deals, suddenly having to deal with, well, a rooster and a vineyard that's seen better days?
Honestly, not well at first. She's grieving, obviously, totally overwhelmed, and suddenly staring down a future that looks nothing like she'd planned. We start to see the cracks in that tough Wall Street exterior.
That's usually when the good stuff comes out, though, right? That vulnerability makes characters relatable.
Totally. And that's what makes Catherine interesting. She's ambitious, yes, and a bit flawed, but she's also capable of change. The big question is, will she? Will she embrace this whole vineyard thing, or will she just hightail it back to what she knows? So we've got Catherine, high heels, traded in for, well, I don't know, are those steel-toed work boots? What's Driftwood life like, really?
Driftwood is a whole other world, that's for sure. And Wheeler doesn't hold back. It's full of these quirky characters that kind of make you smile just reading about them, And they really throw a wrench in Catherine's whole city girl way of seeing things.
Oh, I love that. So who are some of these Driftwood personalities we should get to know? Give me the rundown.
Well, there's Imogene. She's the town's, get this, funeral director turned realtor.
Wait, what? Funeral director to realtor? How does that even... Okay, never mind. I'm hooked already.
She's one of a kind. Knows everything about everyone, of course.
But like in a good way. Not in a creepy, over-the-garden fence kind of way.
Oh, definitely good-natured. But she will tell you exactly what's what. Like that scene where Catherine's all about just selling the winery off ASAP. Imogene sees right through that.
Oh, I bet. She strikes me as the kind of person who can spot a load of bull from a mile away.
100%. She sees that Catherine's just trying to avoid dealing with, well, everything. And then there's Declan.
Okay, who's Declan?
He's the town contractor, but he's also a recovering alcoholic, trying to rebuild his life too. And there's this quiet strength about him. I think that's what draws Catherine to him,
I see where this is going. The classic opposites attract, city meets country kind of thing.
Maybe. It's definitely more than just business, though. Declan's also dealing with his own grief, lost his wife a while back. So there's a depth to him, a kind of understanding that Catherine needs, whether she realizes it or not.
Okay, so he's the strong, silent type. I can dig it. But what about Catherine's journey, internally? She going full green acres on us.
It's not all sunshine and roses, that's for sure. There's this great scene Declan's showing her how to prune the vines, and he's like, you gotta be gentle, cut too deep and they won't grow back. And it hit me, that's Catherine.
Whoa, you're right. She's used to just cutting things out, relationships, anything that slows her down. But here, well, it doesn't work like that.
Exactly. And then, just when you think things are getting figured out, boom, Father Dahl enters the picture.
Father Dahl. Okay, now we're adding another layer to this. Who is he?
He's the resident vintner, lives at the monastery nearby, but he's also kind of, well,
Kind of wet. Spill the key.
He's cryptic, full of these mysterious pronouncements, talks about the land like it whispers secrets to him. You get the feeling he knows something about Round Rock, maybe even Catherine's family, that she doesn't.
Ooh, okay. I am here for some good old-fashioned mystery. And how does he shake things up for Catherine?
It's like he throws a wrench in her whole rational Wall Street way of seeing things. He's all about intuition, faith, the thing she's always pushed aside. It's a total clash of worlds.
And that's where things get really interesting, right? That push and pull between her old life and this new world she's found herself in. All right, so Catherine's got her work cut out for her, that's for sure. But she's got Declan, this whole enigmatic vibe from Father Dahl. What's her next move with Round Rock?
Well, she doesn't disappoint. Remember how we were talking about those Wall Street instincts of hers? They come roaring back, but in a good way, I think.
Oh, so she's not just running the winery like some quaint little farm.
No way. Catherine's got bigger plans. She wants to create an experience, the luxury accommodations. Think those old wine barrels converted into like high-end guest suites?
Okay, I'm getting the vision.
Hmm.
Very wine country chic.
Exactly. And interactive activities, tours, tastings, you name it. She's all about building a brand, and you can tell that part. That's exciting for her.
But it's still a business, right?
Yeah.
And businesses need, well, money. A lot of it.
Bingo. And that sports car she sold, yeah, that only gets you so far. She's facing some serious financial hurdles.
So does she call up her old Wall Street buddies for a bailout?
I think part of her wants to, but she resists, at least for a while. It's like she knows going back to that world, even for help, would mean losing some of what she's found in Driftwood.
But she needs a plan B, right? You can only sell so many personal belongings to keep a vineyard afloat.
Tell me about it. And just when she thinks it can't get worse, she gets hit with this TABC investigation.
The TABC. Isn't that the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission? What are they doing poking around her vineyard?
It's all very official, some complaint filed, and now she's looking at fines, even the possibility of getting shut down before they even open.
This feels personal, though, doesn't it? Like someone's trying to sabotage her.
And guess who shows up right around then?
Oh, I bet I can guess. It's Bernard, isn't it? That former boss of hers. I knew that guy was bad news.
Yep, Bernard's back. And he smells blood in the water, sees Catherine struggling, offers to buy her out, but there's this underlying, I told you so kind of vibe.
Oof, that's harsh. What does Catherine do?
She refuses, flat out. She's not letting him win, even if it means risking everything. And it's here where we really see how much she's changed. This isn't about money for Catherine anymore. It's about something more.
It's about her parents, about their legacy.
Wow. And Declan's right there with her, every step of the way, offering support, a listening ear, and even a shoulder to cry on when things get really tough.
They would make a cute couple.
Yeah.
But we were talking about Father Dahl earlier. How's he doing through all of this?
Well, remember those episodes he was having? Yeah, things come to a head. He collapses, gets diagnosed with pneumonia. And Declan, he's blaming himself, of course.
Oh, no. Declan carries so much guilt, doesn't he?
It's heartbreaking, but here's where Catherine really surprised me. She steps up for him, for Father Dahl, shows a level of compassion and empathy that we hadn't really seen from her before.
It's like she's finally allowing herself to be vulnerable, to care, without needing to have all the answers.
Exactly, and that, I think, is the real transformation in Corked. Sure, there's the whole vineyard coming back to life, but it's more about Catherine learning to let go, to open herself up to the possibility of, well, everything.
So how does it all end? Does she pull it off? Does Round Rock thrive? What about her and Declan?
Wheeler leaves us hanging a bit, to be honest. But that's kind of the point, isn't it? Life's messy, the future is uncertain. What we do know is, Catherine, she's found something real in Driftwood, something she didn't even know she was looking for.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What could we achieve if we embraced a little bit of that driftwood energy, that willingness to slow down, to dig deep, and maybe even get our hands dirty in the process?
Sometimes the most unexpected journeys lead to the most incredible destinations, and that's something worth toasting to.